If you had told me at this point in the year that Will Fleming would have a 7.5 ERA and, um, you know, struggling the way he is, I would have told you, I'd have called you a liar. It's just haven't gotten consistent starts out of him, and it's been disappointing. I'm not sure what to how to describe it. I mean, we give up 10 runs today with 2 outs. We're one pitch away from getting in the dugout several times along the way and just weren't able to make that pitch. So disappointing for sure. Had a couple of chances early. Seymour came up first and third, rifles the ball down the line that gets caught. Tinsman hits a ball in the gap with the bases loaded. That guy makes a great running catch on. But not enough quality at bats against Jack Carey, a guy that had been walking people at a high rate coming into the game. Doesn't have 2 walks until he's got 17 outs before he walks anybody, and so just need to grind better at bats than that. And again, I think he struck out 9 or 10, which is certainly too many. So, as exciting as yesterday's win was, this one was equally disappointing on the other end. It seems like one step forward, one step back. And tomorrow's a big win. It's a must win. I mean, we've got to win tomorrow. We're basically right where they are in the standings and battling. Both of us are battling to get in the conference tournament. So tomorrow's a must win game.
What do you think kind of went wrong with Will today? To kind of get hammered for 13 hits. What just wasn't working for him? And then did you ponder maybe lifting him a little bit earlier than what you ended up doing?
We had Furtado up, and Matt, he got the big strikeout of Matt in that situation right before Rothenberg hit the home run. And, Rothenberg's numbers, his splits, I mean, he's much better against left-handed pitching than he is right-handed pitching. And with that short porch in left field, I just felt a little better with Will, in that situation than I did Hunter. Obviously in retrospect, maybe could have and should have went Hunter there. But I thought that Will was definitely the better matchup for Matt. And then once he got the big strikeout of Matt, there's 2 outs there and Rothenberg up. I mean, I felt like Will, he fell behind and he kind of just hung a breaking ball and Rothenberg didn't miss it.
Well, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask if tomorrow is a must win. So you said it's got to happen.
Yeah, that's what I told the team. I said, we've got a rested bullpen. They haven't seen our 3 best bullpen arms. We've seen all their bullpen arms. No surprises for us tomorrow. And they've got, between Manassi and Furtado and Adler, if we need be, we can get 6 innings out of those guys. So, again, we just need a solid start out of Rhett and turn it over to our 3 most reliable bullpen guys. So we're in good shape to get a win tomorrow. We just need a solid start out of Rhett and better at bats.
It felt like their pitcher was ahead 0-2 on just about everyone. Did the approach need to change earlier in the game to swing earlier?
Again, I think we're just sitting in between pitches. I think it's the same thing we've been talking about here for a while. I mean, it's like, he was basically a 2-pitch guy. He threw a couple changeups to lefties, but not many. But again, you should be either in there dead on fastball or dead on soft. I mean, you're going to get both of those pitches in every at bat. So it doesn't matter what you sit on, but we can't try to cover both of those pitches early in the at bat. There's just no reason to do that. So again, we had a couple of head scratcher at bats. Big at bat in the game was first and third with nobody out. Lucas Costello, swings the ball 4. If we load the bases there with Turconi and Wilkin coming up with nobody out, he pitches Turconi entirely differently in that next at bat, and who knows what happens. But again, we just just didn't quite stack at bats together like we needed to.
From kind of like a macro level, Tom, can you kind of catch us up on a couple guys who might be back with the club sometime soon? I know Shane Smith is someone that's kind of been out for a while, and I think Michael Ludwig's missed a few games.
Yeah, I think we'll have Ludwig for Clemson for sure. Bennett was out today. We think he maybe has strep throat, so he was out today. But we should have Bennett back, probably not tomorrow, but by Tuesday. And then Ludwig by Clemson, and then Smith. again, Smith maybe for the conference tournament. That's a maybe. He hasn't started playing catch yet. He starts playing catch coming up kind of this week. So he's he's pretty well behind.
Tom, I'm sure you don't want any silver linings like this, but at least Michael Turconi gets a homer. Could that maybe spark him a little bit?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, again, I'm worried about his defense too. I mean, again, I think it's connected to his hitting. I mean, he's kind of taking those at bats out to the field and vice versa. So I know this has been a year that's worn on him mentally. He was in a good spot, before the COVID pause and really hasn't gotten on track since then. So we certainly need him down the stretch, and it's all confidence. I mean, but I hope so. I hope, Connor, that maybe that home run jump starts him.
You guys good?
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Ryan.